I promise if I get disturbed one more time. Where were we? I know I was on a tangent. Okay, let's see. The future of his race, the Indian question, as it is called, in one of the vital questions of the day, and is receiving a large share of attention and study. To the recognition recognition of this fact, the present volumes owe their inspiration, and that they may help our people to a more just appreciation for their red brethren. And that reminds me of that image. Am I not a brother? Um, and then they have one that I found the other day that says, "Do we not have the same father?" He's on his knees with chains, I believe. Um, and assist in the noble, okay, help our people to a more just appreciation of their red brethren, and assist in the noble and philanthropic efforts now being made to right their wrongs and to secure justice to them in the future, is the earnest hope of this editor. Okay, so mm, what I want to do, I'm just showing you some of the stuff. I'm going to just go through so I don't have to read it all. You can pause it and see if there's anything. Oh, the gods of Dakota. Hmm. The world of the two gods of the weather. Feeding the dead. Okay. So let's see what this says. No more pictures and striking figure has in modern times been presented to the view of the poet or painter. Blah blah blah. North American Indians. Um, in him, the last discovered of the great primitive stock of mankind was at the close of the 5th century, for the first time brought face to face with the most advanced type of European civilization. This included darker view people too. Now let's go, because that just brought me somewhere. So primitives, okay, let's see. Let's go on. Let's see what was going on the 5th day. Uh-oh. We'll go to let's just go to Genesis. Mm. And I know people like to stick to certain Bibles, but I like to use Bible Hub, especially when I'm doing this. I like to use my regular Bible, my favorite one, but you should be able to use any Bible and get a better understanding. Okay, if you're vibrating on that level. Okay, so let's go ahead and look at Genesis 1. Let's see how far we are if we go here. And there was evening and morning the third day, and God said, "Let there be light and expanse in the sky, distinguish between the night and the day, and mark the seasons and the years, and let them serve as lights in the expanse of the sky, to shine upon the earth." Mm-hmm. God made two great lights, the greater light to rule the day and the lesser light to rule the night. And he made stars as well. Let's see. God set these lights in the expanse of the sky to shine upon the earth and to preside. Again, we already went into this. President. Also, when we were talking about in Genesis when it said that um, there was no rule, or they wanted to get citizenship, get the Aborigines in or Indians into a citizenship. And then it's funny how we are talking about in the first two chapters of Genesis the reigning and the tilling, and then a couple of verses down we start talking about he put that man in the east of the garden. Now you can go however way you want to look at it, but east of the garden, even if you include, if the Americas, Canada all the way down to the islands, was a form of Eden, if not a one Eden or a form of an Eden, okay, then would your District of Columbia or your uh, Washington, D.C. be planted in the east of the garden? Again, and is there someone there that is tending the garden if America was a garden? Okay. So, again, is it not between your Virgin Mary or Virginia and Maryland? Is that not where a nation was uh, birthed? Okay. And let's not forget the lynching and torturing and peeling of the skin and piercing the skin and the torturous way that they killed Nat Turner in Jerusalem, Virginia. And I want to look deeper into this whole Martha's Vineyard and what was going on in that area, in the Southampton area. Because I think we'll find a lot of stuff that will really open up and blow your damn mind. To preside over the day and the night, so that's over the light or white and the black or darkness, and to separate them from each other. Okay? And God saw it was good. Now let's see. I want to see why do we even come here? The heck? Why do you even come here? We came here because what? What did it say? Okay. Discover the great primitive stock of mankind of the close of the 15th century. So that's why we came here. Because I want to see about the fifth day. How can I go to the thing? Oh, here we go. The fifth day. Okay, let's see. Okay, the fourth day. Okay, we'll just start at the fourth day to see if we can find something here. Okay, because we're talking about okay, we'll just go a little bit right here. The earth produced vegetation, and again, seed-bearing plants. Again, we're talking about different groups of people here in my eyes. According to their kinds and trees. We have family trees, don't we? And didn't people back in the day with their family tree write their family tree on the front of their Bibles? It was a place there to write your family tree out. Bearing fruit. We were just talking about fruitful in the other book. Okay? With seed according to their kind. Why would he have to tell vegetation and seeds to do this? Why would this happen? No, because we're not talking about that. Okay? And at the same time, people came to seed here in Americas. Okay? And God said, let there be light expansion. We already read that part. To shine upon the earth. Again, we're opening it up. Okay? Preside over the day and the night and separate the light from the dark. And he liked it, right? Okay? And even the morning was the fourth day. And God said, let the waters teem with the living creatures. Again, let the waters, this is the foreigners, teem with the living creatures that they have created upon the earth, or indigenous people that belong to them in a sense, and the originals, because now they're grafted in. Okay? And you have your living creatures, because the only ones, or one of the groups, because I seem to think that white is, if But then again, we were talking about white people in the beginning. So again, that white could be meaning something else. And when it was talking about white, it said the people of, you'll see it in the video that I did the other day, yesterday. It was the people, it was a certain people that we're talking about when we're talking about white. Am I still? No, I'm not still in it. Shoot. I don't think it was Irish. Scotland. I don't know. You'll have to go back there. Okay. So again, okay. Expansive to shine on the earth. Okay. And let the waters teem with the living creatures. That is everybody who they say that so-called black is saying you're dead by law, that you're still property, and that let's see, let the waters teem with the living creatures. Oh, and that you're dead by law, right? Because you're claiming this, and remember, you have been removed from your original status, right? So since you're dead by law, this is probably why they are showing you that these people can, if this is actually occurring, these people can kill you and murder you and even come in your own home and do this. And some of these people get away. Okay. Most of them get away. Okay. Again, a creature is just something that was created. Okay. So we're in this book, we're talking about creating off different breeds, okay, of people. In Genesis, I'm telling you, that's what we're talking about. Everything is correlating with this story. Okay? It makes sense. It's not far fetched, or you have to really stretch or really get yourself to see something that's not there when it comes to how it is when it comes to religion. Okay? So we're grounding things, we're pulling it back down to reality, okay? In terms where it may not have been that damn long ago. Okay? So 3 generations wasted away, you wouldn't know anyway. So live with the living creatures, okay? And let birds fly above the earth in open expanse of the sky. Again, this is where my let's see, because I got to get moving soon. Let's see where we can go with this. Remember I was showing you these the other day? Let's pick a good one that shows it how I wanted to show it to you. Because I feel like anyone that has been put on a platform, regardless if we're talking about Frederick Douglass or whatever, some part of their life, rather they woke up at the end, like I think Malcolm and Martin did. This is why they don't want us to have another so-called leader. We don't need them anyway. Okay? This time, the movement won't be televised because it's going on amongst brothers and sisters and the actual people that are in tune with a frequency that is waking up and waking up other people along the way. Okay? These people are passionate. They are spending endless amounts of time to bring people this information, and it will be ignored by 90%. I think I have 3,000 people or something on my Facebook page. All kind of people that I've known throughout my life. I don't know if they think I'm crazy or nuts or something, and that's fine. And then I have my soul siblings that I've come across for the past 6 years, and we've been exchanging information. Besides a couple of friends and family members, I have no one that is more curious, would like more information. Nothing. I don't know if this is how Facebook has it set up, or people are just not really giving a damn, or they can't comprehend what I'm saying. And this is why I'm starting to do more of these videos when I'm going to be talking. I'm not the most fluent person when it comes to reading and talking, and I'm fine with that. You know what I'm saying? I don't have no fear of what somebody's going to think about me and all this stuff. That's left me. I'm in a different realm right now when it comes to all of this kind of stuff. So, and that don't mean that I'm thinking I'm better than anyone. I'm just saying I've chosen to put my mindset and free my mind from this construct, and I'm seeing things in a different way, and I'm just sharing the information that I've come across. I can't even tell you or explain to you a lot of the stuff that I'm bringing. It's just being shown to me, or if it's come to me, and I feel like it's something that even if I can't, I don't have to get the credit for it. It doesn't really matter to me as long as the information is getting passed out. As long as you can find one thing in this video that might strike something in you that you might have been looking for, this little piece of information. But what we're talking about is this file right here. You'll notice it above a lot of the presidents, and then you'll notice it here. And let me see if I can find another one. And I know you guys, oh, well, you're just going, just because they have a bird over them or whatever, you're saying that these people, whatever. No, it's just knowing how this thing works, okay? Let's see if this might be it. Let me see. Again, here we go right here. Here we go right here. So when I look at, and I'm really good with faces and phenotypes, and I'm not saying that this is factual. We don't have time to hang on to what we've been taught when we're looking to discern or see what's going on with this information. And you don't need to, because the information is already in you. You just have to tap into it, okay? And you'll be led, okay? It's the time, okay? So this person hardly looks like an Aborigine of America to me. This person possibly, but I don't know. I see something else. I see something else here of more African ancestry. He kind of looked like Martin Luther King, but again, I'm getting some kind of Asian something flair. This person, I'm getting some of that something else. Middle Eastern something. This guy, I mean, I'm getting a Caucasian man. Douglas, you know, he looks kind of Aborigine to me, but I mean, I don't know, to be honest with you. And I know he's done some works that we might look at on the surface and say, hey. And again, like I said, some of these people were used for things, and I think some of them may not even been aware of. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not saying anything bad about these people. I'm just pointing certain things out that come to me. Okay, and this person kind of looks like what you would think a Caucasian looks like today. This guy looks like he could be an Aborigine of America. And this is just my opinion. This is just, it helps me. Okay. You know, this person is questionable, but then again, these guys down here, very suspect. And this is a Turner. So, and they keep showing all of these, you know, things here, you know, all of these little, what is this? Law, commerce and art, agriculture, you know, the military, the workforce, you know, it's kind of reminding me of even a temple with the caste system. And then, I don't know what this is. I can't read that well. Dwell in peace. And justice, something, whatever. So anyhow, I just wanted to show you guys that just like I do it with all the other guys that are not the same complexion, I'm going to do it with the ones that are too. Okay? Because if they had some pull and some of their descendants are in the positions that I think they are in right now, and they were on your side, something would have been already done. Okay? So why didn't they compile some of their writings like these other folks did to put into play for you to have later on? Or where are they at now if they did? So one case or something like this is not enough for me, okay, at the end of the day, because I look deeper. You can show me something on the surface, but I want to look behind the shit to find out what I'm really seeing, okay? So again, let them team with the living creatures. And don't forget that early in Genesis, they had already had the fowl of the air. They made it very well known that they wanted the fowl of the air to increase on the earth. So they needed somebody that looked like you, like they do today with these celebrities and some of these people and these politicians and stuff that look like you. Some of them that been in that house, but they're not really you, okay? But you've been deceived, okay? And they give you their, you see what I'm saying? African American, their term for their place, and while they're taking yours. Okay? Above the earth. Okay, to fly above the earth, again, bringing you down real low, and they going up real high. Mm-hmm. And the heavens basically is nothing but that construct that is above the people. And they use all of their tools, like I tell you all the time, in order to, these days, enslave the minds or miseducate or whatnot the masses. Okay? And that's everything from your entertainment all the way back over to your politicians. Okay? So, um, let them fly above the earth, the Aborigines or the original people. Okay? Which some of this probably, I'm questioning some of these people that they are saying were politicians, or some of those first so-called black presidents that people know about, some people know about, before this presidency even started, but we don't talk about them at all or that much. But we talk about Frederick Douglass and all of them, um, like, you know, like they are up there with the other people that you talk about. And again, let them birds fly above the earth in the open expanse of the sky, or the house of God, or the heavens. And that's exactly what I'm telling you when I'm looking at them pictures, what was resonating with me. Because who are they with? Who are they with? And now these branches are in the claws or the clutches of this bird. And who is this down here? You do what I'm saying? Education system, the military, laboring forces. These are all the working forces. And I don't know what this is. Maybe some, it looked like they're reaching up to the sky. Maybe some religion. See, and then this fruitfulness here. So you see how you got the books over here? These are the tools that they use in order to keep you in a certain state of mind while they do what they do. And don't he look just like Abraham Lincoln? I'm just saying. Sorry. Okay? I'm talking to y'all like as if you are, I don't really have anyone that wants to engage in this type of conversation. Sometimes when I go there, I lose people, and I'm not saying anything bad about them, but I see that, but I can't help but relate to them that I just ain't on that different level no more. I mentally, you know what I'm saying? I can't just frivolously do things anymore. You know what I'm saying? Not saying that they are. Everybody, and that's why I'm saying some of us have been put in a place where we're able to do this. And it's so sad that everybody else couldn't do it. Would they want to do it if they could? You know what I'm saying? So a lot of people, they just think it sounds like mumbo jumbo and they don't want any part of it. So what I'm doing now is just trying to connect with others that are seeing things in this light. Because I know that we are greater than what we think that they told us that we think we are. Okay? So again, it's all a matter of, do you want to let go? It's like an addiction. Do you want to let go of your perceived notion of the world and the perception that they've given you, and let go of the fear mongering that comes with religion, and being fear mongered into uh, immunizations for your children, and if they don't come to school, you're gonna maybe go to jail, or if you spank your you know what I'm saying? Everything is surrounded with fear. You know what I'm saying? Fear if you're going to be able to pay your bills, when most of us in this land, no matter what color your skin is, are on the same thing. We're trying to keep our children safe. We're trying to live. We're trying to pay bills, things that we shouldn't even have to. Taxes and, all these fees and fines and all this. It's just ridiculous. Nobody can even think past being able to pay their bill. Most people are on a weekly, month-to-month basis with their finances, and you have to have somewhere to sleep. So again, I'm not knocking anyone. That's when those of us that have the time are supposed to be doing the work and sharing it with the others. Okay, and they can either take a look or they don't have to. But again, this is how I want to spend my time. Okay. So, and God said, let the waters teem with living creatures and fly above the earth in the open expanse of the sky. Again, you guys know what I told you I'm thinking when it comes to that. So God created the great sea creatures, something that was created for the sea or in the sea. So you mean to tell me, well, we are just in Genesis 1, and people do think we're talking about the sun and the moon, the literal one that they think was hung in the sky. But, These sea creatures to me are ships. And when we're looking at this in my theory or theoretical timeline, we could be as far as the mid to late 1800s with some information that is in the Bible. And this is why I say, is it prophecy or plan? Because if you didn't get the Bible here in America until the 1900s, the late 18 to early 1900s, you don't know what was in there first. None of your ancestors can attest to what was in the book first. And then it was in different languages and stuff. So nobody can attest to that. So we could be talking about them having things being added on to such word. Okay. Old Testament, Old World, New Testament, New World. Up until the 18, we could very well be talking about the Indian removal and the Trail of Tears when we're talking about Exodus. And there's another older forms of Exodus that happen in South America and things like this that they can also be attesting to as well, which I'm going to bring you guys some information later on that I think is very intriguing. So I'm not the smartest thing, but I'm very aware of certain things. And I haven't always been that way. In school, I couldn't even comprehend. I didn't even want to be there because it just didn't make no sense. In church, I didn't. But here, I can now see, now I want to read. Now I want to do these things. You know what I'm saying? Now I want to watch documentaries instead of watching other things. So it's just a different thing. Okay. And it is about discipline, in order to see what's going on around us. Okay. So expanse of the sky and shine on the earth. Okay. And it's funny how it's just saying the earth. But then we're talking about this down here. Let the birds fly above the earth in the open expanse of the sky. So God created these great sea creatures, and every living thing that moveth. And some of them say on the earth. Or the creeping thing, too, that moves on the earth. Undetected, very sneaky, and very quietly, this is what we're talking about here, okay? With which the waters teemed according to their kinds. So the French, the Germans, the Russians, the blah, 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 blah. All these people that they're having you get the perception that these people are at real war with each other. But we don't know what they talk about behind closed doors in these meetings. And whatever they're talking about don't seem like it's nothing that's valuable for us. And one person or two people or these people behind closed doors get to make the decisions for all the rest of us, and that's okay? And we don't like the outcome 99.9 fucking percent of the time, and that's okay? It's the same thing. Like, God can kill all these people and do all this stuff and end the world and flood the whole world, is what you thinking in religion we're really talking about when we're talking about flooding indigenous people with people that are not them in order to create a new nation on top of a nation and new people, okay? But for you that think that we're talking about that, even if you thought that he flooded the whole world and killed everything except for a couple of people, are you serious? You be the judge and tell me what you think the real story is, okay? So God created the great sea creatures of every living thing that moveth. And it's funny that this book that we're referring to that led us over here is written in the 1840s, around the time when they started. Well, the Indian Removal Act was 1830. I think it said it went from 40 to something or a little bit before, but it doesn't matter. What I'm trying to say is that really very, I can't prove it. Just like it's not, a court is not about what you can, who did the crime. It's about what you can prove. Okay. So again, this is what kind of information I'm talking to you about. Okay. So everything else that you've learned is going to go against what I'm saying, of course, because they need you to be in that state of mind and have that perception. So with which the waters teemed according to their kinds, and every bird. Why there's so many other creatures? Why are we only talking about birds, whales, and beasts? There's so many. There's insects. There's bugs. Why don't we take the time? We might talk about the locusts, but again, that's representing a certain people. Okay, and I think there's something to do with some Mormonism or something, because they, over here in one of these plains states, they have that locust, that statue, and there's a lot of stuff I was reading about the history of those people. It's just a lot, so let's not get off track. Okay. Okay, to bird of flight, and again, what did if they're teaming together, after its kind, and God saw that it was good, and God blessed them and said, be fruitful and multiply. Again, be fruitful and multiply. Why would he have to tell these creatures to do this? He don't even talk to you. So be fruitful and multiply and fill the waters of the seas. Again, sea of people, a large group of people, masses of people, fill the waters, put them on the creature. This is talking about the whole thing when all those people were coming over here. Period. It's talking about aliens, immigrants, whatever you want to call it. And let the birds multiply on the earth. So let the be fruitful and multiply and fill the waters of the seas. So put the waters in the seas of people, because the seas of people come from the water in the first damn place. And let the birds, again, what are we talking about? Are these Frenchmen? Are some of these people? This look like a British lad. You know what I'm saying? If you really want to look, and this look like somebody that might have some French ancestry, but this dude have the same nose as this dude. And this is just, you don't have to, everybody doesn't see things the same way. Okay. And I'm not saying my way is the way. I'm just showing similarities and things. Okay. So, okay, he saw it was good. Multiply with the seas and let the birds multiply on the earth. Again, who are these people? Who are these darker view people that you think were on your side or fighting for something from you? Besides a Nat Turner, and we really don't talk about him that much. They don't have a real supposed image of him. They don't want to really, they really don't want to go in on that story in depth. You hear? And they want to call it an insurrection, and how, well, whatever, to each his own. Okay. And there was evening and there was morning on the fifth day. Okay. So let's go back. Because I get lost as to what we're even talking about. So, in him, the last discoverer of the great primitive stock of mankind was the close of the 5th century. Again, we're talking about mankind. We're talking about primitive stock. We're talking about mankind. And the fowl would represent the primitive. Or, in a sense, because if the earth, if the birds are supposed to multiply on the earth, and the earth is the aborigine, and then maybe the birds represent people that might have been looking similar to them, or of a certain group. And then again, like we said, fill the waters of the seas, or some say with the seas. You can take it however you want. Okay. And that was the 5th day. And it's kind of like the same thing that we were talking about. See, let them team together and fly above and all this other stuff. It's kind of, basically, really, if you just want to boil it down and just, you guys know, all of y'all that's already doing this, you probably already see it. Okay. Okay. So for the first time, brought face to face with the most advanced type of European civilization. Again, what did I just say? In my eyes, these are all Euro-Afro-Asians. And they would say, oh, wait a minute, we're talking about livestock. Hold on, let's see. Let's keep going. Be fruitful, okay. And God said, let the earth, the aborigines, bring forth living creatures, something that was created, according to their kinds, okay. Indians, Native Americans, whatever, maybe, possibly. Livestock, again, stock the water, stock this, okay. Livestock can be talking about, and we already went through livestock and etymology. It can be talking about people in the works that they do, and it can also be talking about animals. land crawlers or the creeping things. Again, what are we talking about? And you know what I think we're talking about? I won't go there, but I'll just explain it to you. You know how some of the coat of arms have the knight, okay, and like a knight in a metal, hooded thing or whatever, and then it'll have like a lot of flourish, like flourishing like plant or whatever all around it. hmm Something to the extent of that. I mean, and some of them have different animals or beasts on it too, but I really think that that's what we're talking about. We're talking about the creeping thing, in the branches or the, uh, you know, um, how like even a grape. What do you call the things that it's on? Vine. Okay. So let's see. And the beast of the earth. Okay. Again, the beast of the earth. Um, mhm. So when we're talking about the beast of the earth, according to their kind, we could be talking about the lion that has to do with the British monarchy. Okay. And when it comes to the fowl of the air, we could be talking about, like I say, the Spanish, Germans, um, French. All these people still use the eagle or some sort of fowl. Okay. According to their kind, and it was so. God made the beast of the earth. So they sprung from the earth, but again, beast of the earth. And we can also be looking at the caste system and looking at the bottom block there where you have your Native Americans or your indigenous peoples, but the earth is always, or the Aborigines are always at the bottom, in the ground, on the ground, when it comes to the caste system, the undesirables or delete people. Okay. Or the what do they call them? Exiles. Okay. So according to their kind, livestock according to their kind, and everything that crawleth upon the earth. Again, we're still talking about the earth. We're talking about all these things invading on the earth. The earth is talking about the earliest inhabitants. According to the dry land, I think represents the people that did not want to mix or be irrigated or mingled. When we're talking about the dry earth in the beginning, I think that that's talking about the people that fought against it and they didn't want anything to do with this and they saw it as evil. Okay. Before it even hit the shores, these people, and they called it in the book so-called white people. But I'm telling you, I think that that's another form of a class or something. I don't know if it really had something to do with only the skin color. Okay. According to its kind, and God saw that it was good. And he saw that this was good, right? And this is the person, or this is the entity. This is the entity that you guys have been worshiping, and no change, even though you have been made to believe and make believe, has been happening for your people from the time of when they got the damn religion all the way until now. But again, you have to be able to separate religion from the book. The book will open up your eyes, and it will, the same book you think enslaved you will be the one to free you once you free yourself from the damn indoctrination of the church and the religion. They are not the same. Then God said, let us make man in our image. This is the sixth day. Okay. After our likeness, to rule over the fish of the sea. This is just the people. Get with me, the schools of fish, or the groups of the people from the sea, and the birds of the air. Again, when we talk about these scholars and these Frederick Douglasses and stuff that had all this information and were very, upright, you know, and I can't even remember what they called them, prominent and all these other things, colored folk. Because again, that one book that we read said that there were the first group of 20 and some odd colored people. Now they didn't say 1619, I think they said 1620, but still, you, okay, be the judge, okay? And he saw it was good. Let us make man in our image. So now let's make one in our image. Okay. After our likeness. Piece of statuary. Huh. Artificial. Now this says the 1200s, but again, let's see how far we can go with this now. This is just the term here. We're going to follow it all the way through. So it's the 1200s, and again, this could have been going on that long ago. It could have been going on in the second day when we're talking about make light. You see what I'm saying? Okay. So, piece of statuary, artificial representation that looks like a person or a thing. What? These look like they could have been fooled, letting somebody into thinking that they're Aboriginal. But again, look at his eyes. Look at this. Okay? Okay? What else does it say? Now, we're reading a scripture. We took the word image. We brought it over here. We're looking at image here. And what do we get? What do we get? What do we get? Piece of statuary, artificial representation that looks like a person or a thing from Old French. Image, likeness, figure, drawing. We were even talking about the drawings of the people in the book that we were reading before we got into the scripture. The portrait. Again, what are these? Okay. Let's see. Portrait, reflection, statue, earlier image. Okay. And from the 11th century, probably. Latin. Again, Latin. We're talking about the fowl still. French, the fowl. And it's funny, like I keep telling you, this is the fowl and the beast. And she got somebody's arrows in a basket. So, not that they have nothing to do with each other, but I just think that was something to point out. A copy, imitation. Aren't we talking about this when we're talking about the book that we're just reading that led us over to here? Likeness, statue. Don't they like to do that? Who else have a statue? Didn't Martin Luther King got a statue? He got it kind of late, because I think that they got their own reasoning why they had to give it to him. Because he woke up, supposedly, what I think, possibly, in the end. Okay? Picture, also phantom. Again, they're not making any images of anyone that would be able to bring you up to a higher level or let you know really who you were. So this is why they whitewashed all of your the images of the original people and brought in a different branch of people to portray those people. Portray meaning, or be like they are the people, and they're not. But they are of the people. Okay, I'll say that because I have to be fair, and I like to take a non-biased approach. Idea, appearance, from the stem of imitary, to copy, to imitate. Okay. Meaning reflection in the mirror in the early 14th century. Let's go back. Look at this. Here you go. This is the creation of it. We're close enough. We're close enough. We're close enough. Mental sense of Latin appears in 14th century since the public impression. See, they want to make impressions on your mind. This is why they show you those images in the Bible that don't look nothing like the people, possibly. Or maybe they are. See? Because I think I know who they're talking about when they're talking about the heathen. And I think that it's a lot of the Aboriginal people. That's just in my eyes. And once you start taking them, you have to separate them and start putting them on the side of, are we talking good about these people or bad? Are these the people that's being helped by God or not? And I look at my real perception of what I see, what I've been shown, plus what resonates with me already. Then other outside information, and then I can make the choice. Okay? And for me, it wouldn't seem like you were the chosen people. I know sometimes so-called black people want to be the whole everything in the Bible, and you just can't be. The whole thing is talking against you in Genesis. Now, I'm not saying that there's not stories of up and down throughout the book, but again, This God obviously seen your black ass and wanted to bring light. And ever since he came here, he's been doing it. Sense of public impression is attested to isolated cases from 1908, but not in common use until its rise in jargon. Okay, in public relations again. To be the image of God, he made him. Um, hmm. It form a mental picture. You see what I'm saying? Oh, they did some work, boy. Sculptures, figures, and you know what? In the likeness of like the Statue of Liberty, which is looks like an androgynous being to me, with all of those Greek statues of these gods and goddesses look androgynous to me. Well, but hey, everybody can make their own assumptions. That's what we do. Image likeness. A female demon or man. What did we read in that book? The eunuchs and the people that were castrated were called woman, or they because they were taken out of man, and the male aspect would be diminished, and the female aspect would reign true. Sorceress, vampire, female vampire, man eating monster, literally swallower, throat, gullet, spirit of the dead, Lamia. I don't know. This is not the word, but we're just looking at the related images. Bible for screech owl. Okay. Let's see. So again, him. Oh, this will be llama may find only man first a flat whip him woman his face and make up. Him lead by here while he made dirt one he may not suffice. Yeah, so I don't know. Slept and at him. Greek god of marriage, again, 1580s. They were marrying people or putting them basically together. Join with them. See, that's the marriage. These are the marriages that we're talking about. We're not talking about, when we say don't defile your wife or your husband, all this other stuff. We're even talking about no damn marriage, really. And that's just my opinion. Oh, there was another one that I wanted to look up. Membrane. Virginal membrane, thin skin. Are we talking about like a circumcision or something? 1610. Let's see if this would have saying about the sixth day. Oh, and then God said, let us make a man in our own image, in our likeness, and rule over the fish of the sea. So God created man in his own image. In the image of God, he created him. He created him male and female. He created them. The hell you think that's saying? Once your eyes is open, you can't look good. So don't even come over to this channel unless you want your eyes to be open. Then you're going to be mad at me. Again, we're talking about the sixth day in my theory. Okay. 16th century, sixth day. French, we still talk about the same thing. What I tell you about those French men. Okay. Latin, again, we have it here. Greek, him. What did I just say? The Greek and Roman statues and all this other stuff. Membrane, especially a vaginal membrane, as the membrane par excellence, thin skin, from root cu to bind and sew. Now, what did he do? To sew up the flesh thereof. Y'all, listen to me. I don't know. Well, I get excited because I just feel like everything is just being wiped away. That is just nonsense in my eyes, and everything is just being shown to a lot of us. But again, you'll be waiting for, not saying that we're saviors, but messengers oracles, sages. These people are in your community that are, the ones that are being shunned or pushed to the side because people don't understand what they're going through or what their job is or why they were sent, or you just don't want to, some people just don't want to hear it from you. Oh, you used to do this and you used to do that. Oh, this person is thinking that they're all that. We're just not doing anything but leaving a message. And you know what? It's funny because it's the same thing that so-called Jesus supposedly went to his people and they did the same thing, so-called. Because I'm not saying it ain't no such thing. I'm saying that we need to find out what we're actually really literally talking about, and if we need to untie the symbolism and the other things that was going with this. Same thing like Nat Turner tried to tell his people, let's do, and it was one Negro that didn't want it to happen. And that reminds me of the Judas Issachar or whatever. So again, let me do my own thing. Okay. Specific modern medical meaning being with Vesalius, yes, in 1550, a De Humani Corpus Fabrica. This is interesting. I'm gonna have to go ahead and look this up for my whole thing that I'm about to do on the Addams family and this whole thing with these eunuchs and these androgynous beings. And the fact that I told you guys the other day that they were using ribs, they were removing people's ribs and putting them into the area of a people. Maybe, I don't know if it was male and female, okay, or whatever, or if this person did, I don't know what we're talking about exactly. I'm not claiming to say that, but I know what we're talking about, but I'm saying I don't know exactly. So they were taking ribs from people in order to make them a penis, okay? And this is how they were able to do this, alter the with a couple of other things, castration and cutting off parts or the whole, sometimes the whole area down there for people, in order to create a man. And that man would have been bone of my bone, flesh of my flesh, because it was taken out of man. So that basically meaning you took a man and you made ye a woman. And see, and that's what it does say in the scripture. And he took he a man and made he a woman and brought him back to. Okay. So apparently not directly connected to him. Okay. But see how they try to, you see this play right here? This is what I want to point out to you. How discernment will come into hand when this happens. Apparently not directly connected to, but it's here. It's closer to this than this is. J shape as the beast pad. See, I'm gonna try to translate that or something, but I keep going back to it. Okay, so let's see. Called ye him with his name, unspecific person. Okay, marriages, one whose souls represent youth, carries a torch or veil. The joiner. Let's see. Apparently directly to him. Related. Okay, him, Jewish male. Jewish male. Derogatory by the 1980s. Apparently originally African American vernacular from common Jewish mass something, a pet form of him. From Hebrew, literally life. Okay, the mass counterpart of Eve. Now we getting real deep here. You better get up off this channel if you don't want to be waking up. And again, sometimes I feel like I'm saying this stuff. Is it really relaying to other people the way that it's relaying to me? It has to be. But again, your mind has to already be there. You have to already be a part of this whole mass awakening. If you're not, you're going to think I'm crazy. But some of you know that is resonating with you. But again, nobody wants to admit it because they don't want to hear it from their people, because we've been even shunned and turned away from our own people and getting information that matters from our own people. And we've been following the works of mankind or these beings. And now it's hard for you to see that Jesus ain't coming back on no white horse to come save you. Nobody's parting the clouds to come up out of here. You're going to have to do it yourself. Again, 1640s. Are we in the 6th day? It's not my fault that this is the way that I interpret it and I can't help it. You see what I'm saying? So relating to a marriage, Greek god of marriage. Okay, wedlock, whatever. Okay, so again, when it calls about the gods, these higher up beings and the gods of the ancients, or the higher kings and stuff like that, were the ones to remove the parts of these eunuchs and these people in order to send them out into the world to do their work so they wouldn't commingle with the people. Okay, so again, I don't know what happened, but that's just what all I'm saying. And maybe that's why the warning was, that you're going to be like him if you take the fruit from the midst of the garden, which was basically talking about some fruit that was hanging from a tree. And you can take, I already told you what I think we're talking about. We could be talking about family trees, but you could see it how you want to. Okay, so let's see. I feel like we going, but not. Okay, again, and he created them, okay, and said to them, be fruitful and multiply and fill the earth and subdue it. So then now it's changing up. Now he wants you to subdue the earth and rule over the fish. So he wants you to subdue the earth, which is the aborigine, and rule over the fish, who are the foreigners and the aliens, okay, and some of them are the people that are linked to the earth, okay, or sprung from the earth, and the birds of the air and every creature that crawleth upon the earth. Everybody on the earth, everybody on top of your back. Let's look at it. I'm sorry, this is the only way that I know how to try to get this across to people. Oh shoot, that was not the one. See this here? No, there's one better. Right here. These are all these parts right here of the mechanism of a caste system. Why don't they just call it a caste system when they talk about slavery in America? And why don't they just call it slavery over here when they're trying to say it's the caste system? But this is the oldest form of something of that sort. And their gods look very androgynous too. I just thought I'd bring that out. And these are the outcasts of the outcasts, the street sweepers, the people at the bottom. They're not even on the pyramid, really. They're the ones at the bottom. The outcasts. Okay? So, okay, and this is why it's crawling upon. Okay? So, likeness, image, behold every seed bearing. Okay, so again, you guys can read through this on your own, see if it resonates with you. I don't want to spend too much more time over here, because I did want to look up, let's see. Oh no, image, likeness, likeness, representation of an object, like a like form. So as opposed to the Aborigines, you have the Indians. Opposed to the Indians, you have the Native Americans. Opposed to the Native American, you have the newer races that we have here in the Americas. Okay, but they've all somehow derived or come from the Aborigine. Okay, we don't have to state claim at what skin tone they all were, but again, pertaining to an image, a likeness, a portrait. Okay, so anyways, we already have seen this representation, a copy. So again, when we're looking at this, look at how this says this is the gods and this is the people, the systems that they use. Again, let's go ahead and look at this. The Brahmin are the priests and the academics or teachings, warriors and kings, your presidents in the military, merchants and landowners, the people that own the land, and the people that sell on the land, the commoners or peasants or servants. Again, the servants of them are the people that they brought from their land over to yours and have made them spring from you after they ceded the land. And now those people are not higher up. They're still at the bottom with you, but they're not on the ground. They're not down here. So they need these people in order to keep you in your place by making you feel like these people are higher up or more beautiful or have more advantage or more powerful, or talking about the natives were so strong they couldn't enslave them. They can only do it to the average. You out your damn mind. And you gotta take it how you want to take it. You can take it how you want to take it. Talk about they couldn't enslave the natives because they were warriors and they was killing. You out your mind. So they needed this to be above you so that you stay down here. And this is why everybody else can come to the Americas and make it, but you. Make me sick. People just make me sick because, again, how if you don't spend hours and hours of your day doing the research and doing the legwork and looking into this, how you gonna come try to tell me something? If you indoctrinated still by you can't even see the jail that your brain is in, the chains on your brain. At least I can admit that I still have some. They're not all, I'm close to it, but they're not all. I still have work to do. But how you gonna sin if you ain't even started? You ain't even in the game of being so-called woke. So how you gonna tell me something? You still giving me information that comes from mainstream academic studies. And we still, we give all the honors to these people. We still don't know shit. In him, the last discoverer of the great primitive stock of mankind was at the close of the 15th century. Again, we was in the fifth day in the Bible, and I'm just going to say it like that on this channel. For the first time brought face to face, and again, that's what the earth was going to be, going within the earth and then multiplying. With the most advanced type of European civilization, the Frenchmen probably. The contrast was, and then the ruling class probably of the British area. Okay. The contrast, when we're talking about the beast, but they didn't really put the beast in there really that much. It was the fowl and the fish or whatever. The contrast was sufficiently startling. He was no effeminate Asiatic. Effeminate. Now, let's take this one. I try to get out. And I'm not saying nothing bad about these people that may be androgynous beings. I'm just saying we have the right to know. We have the right to know what we're dealing with so that we can put things into perspective. That's it. Yeah. I'm not going to get it. Oh, let's go. I got too much stuff open, but I don't want to close them because I'm still looking into them. I know y'all looking at me like, but it's just my, sometimes I get like this and get side. It's kind of like my short-term memory because I just have a lot on my mind. I get like sent off. So again, effeminate, late 14th century. Let's just go ahead and make reference because I want to reel it in to you that I'm not playing around, okay? Fifth day. First day, third day, fifth, fourth day, sixth day, fourth day. Oh my goodness, that was my stomach. I need to eat. I haven't eaten anything. Late 14th century, womanish, voluptuous, tender. Hmm. Past participle, make a woman of. Womanish, make them voluptuous and tender, make a woman of, or a simulated form of X. See X. Word forming element in English, out of. See, taking him out of man. Former. Upwards, completely, derived without, out of, from within, from which sense, according to regards to Church Slavic, Greek, reduced before, yeah. So you can see. Oh, and then what? Effeminacy, 1600s. Let's go back. Sixth day. In his own image created them, male and female. You dig what I'm saying? I'm really not here, just really, and that's what I'm saying. I'm not here for nobody's feelings. When the information is this strong, how can you go the other way? It wouldn't make any sense. You haven't been able to capture anything tangible with religion yet that leads you to God. And I'm trying to tell you what it is, but you ain't gonna want to see it because you ain't gonna want to see the outcome of what it means for you or what it's been meaning. You don't want to be made a fool of either. That this is what you've been looking into all this time. This is what you've been be-lie-eving in. Eve, lie. Be, lie, Eve. Oh, feminine, female, feminine, effeminate from woman, she who suckles. To suck, I don't know. A woman like proper, whatever is recorded, meaning represented roughly in female. Characteristics of sex that bears children, feminine having qualities considered appropriate to a woman, effeminate having females qualities bad in a bad sense, unmanly. So they taking them out of man and attempt to keep them clear of each other. There's that enmity, the enmity that we talked about in that other book and that you're talking about in the Bible, has led to many coinage. And okay, we can go. Y'all can go ahead and look at this at all you want. Okay, I'm just gonna go ahead and breeze through. Okay, womanish of a man or woman. So womanly, feminine, resembling a man or a woman, behaving in the manner of a woman, effeminate. Again, that's the same thing we were just talking about the other day. Let's go. Okay, so he was no effeminate Asiatic, no fetish worshipping of African, but instead of these a man erect. See, and this may be where all your the and self-reliance, where we talking about the phalluses and the cement or whatever temple things that they be putting up in different cities. They have them in Washington, D.C. You know which one I'm talking about. And how we can look at that view of Washington, D.C., the bird's eye view, and you see it look like a phallus coming through something that looks like a vagina. Let's see if we can get a view of it. I don't look at the screen when I type, so if I type something wrong, it's just whatever. Google will fix it for me. It's something like one of these, but if you look at the, let's just see, bird's eye view. This one. This, whatever it is. What did it say? Washington Monument? This. Here. With this added erection, and it looks like a woman's, and then it makes you